Hey, I'm Dave Rubin, and this is TYT140, a lot of news in a little time. The Obama administration has called for increased sanctions on Russia as a response to the Malaysian Airlines disaster. Yet senior intelligence officials concede that they have no proof of direct Russian government involvement in the downing of Flight 17. While satellite photos suggest the plane was brought down by a surface-to-air missile fired by Russian-backed separatists in Ukraine, no Russian operatives have been connected to the actual missile launch. Officials have dismissed the idea that the Ukrainian military shot down the plane, explaining that no Ukrainian surface-to-air missile system was in range when the jet went down. Businessman David Perdue won Tuesday's Republican Senate primary runoff in Georgia, narrowly beating 11-term Congressman Jack Kingston. Perdue is a former CEO of Dollar General and Reebok who ran as a political outsider while portraying Kingston as an out-of-touch career politician. Perdue will now face Democrat Michelle Nunn in the general election to succeed retiring GOP Senator Saxby Chambliss. Foreign ministers from the 28 European Union member nations meeting in Brussels this week have failed to agree on a response to the downing of Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 in Ukraine. Despite agreement that Russia likely supplied the missile that brought down the jet, the member states fear that tougher sanctions will invite reprisals against countries dependent on Russian energy supplies, harming the continent's economic growth. Besides, who could ever say no to a face like that? Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg flew to Israel last night on the Israeli airline El Al to protest an FAA ban on U.S. carriers flying to or from Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. The FAA put the restrictions in place after a rocket fired from Gaza landed about a mile away from the airport. Bloomberg described the flight ban as short-sighted and an undeserved victory for Hamas. And if there's anyone who knows about pointless and short-sighted bans, it's Michael Bloomberg. And finally, former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin was issued a speeding ticket last week in her hometown of Wasilla. According to a court docket reviewed by CNN, she received a $154 ticket. Palin explained that she was listening to Sammy Hagar's I Can't Drive 55 on the radio when the incident occurred. Coincidentally, 2008 GOP presidential candidate John McCain has reported that he was inspired to select Palin as his running mate after listening to the Green Day song American Idiot. I'm Dave Rubin. Follow us on Twitter at TYT140 and suggest stories using hashtag TYT140. We'll see you tomorrow.